Hi everyone, we're doing this, this is the first time I've ever done this at the Art Base, where we're actually recording live. Here you are, it's so fun to be here with you guys. Thank you for being here. So we are actually recording, so this will be on our website later. So forgive me if I'm not looking into the audience as much and sort of looking up to the camera as well. Should we start? We're starting, we're recording. Welcome everyone, thank you so much for being here. I'm here with Reina Katzenberger, who I know you all, I'm assuming know. We're so grateful. This is the first time we've ever done this at the Art Base. I mean, I feel like our whole team, Sky, all of us keep saying that over and over again. This is the first time we're doing this, so let's hope, first of many, yes, and we hope we keep saying that. But this was a proposal that Reina Katzenberger put together for an exhibition, and it was so radical. I couldn't have imagined anything like this, which is why it's such a joy to be in this space, so that we can think about ideas like this and think about possibilities like this. So I'm going to let Reina speak about the proposal and where the idea came from, and then how it came to fruition. So my name is Lissa Ballinger. I'm the curator at the Art Base, by the way. Okay.
Thank you, Lissa. Thank you all so much for coming this evening, and to everyone who's stopped in over the last month. I had no idea how amazing it would be, and I felt safe to be vulnerable and to show up every day and just see what came of it. So I'm grateful for that. I don't feel like it's over. I'm sad to leave, but I know I'll be back. The original idea was thinking about my love for this place so much and how formative it was for me as a young artist.
Let's go back there, because not everybody knows that, especially some of our viewers.
Yes. So I'm in my mid-teens, and my
not right now. You were in your mid-teens. Although you do look that young, I'd believe it.
Up at the campus that we're at, the Aspen Community School, my mom was the longtime art teacher at the school, and became an artist in residence at that facility, and then founded the Art Center. And that was 26 years ago now. And so I was around, and I was with that energy.
Her name is Deb Jones. We're going to say her name in praise as many times as we can. And that was originally the Wiley. And
yes.
We are now the Art Base. So this is the origins of our space.
Yes, definitely.
I'm going to keep interrupting you.
Please do. Please do. Yeah, so being in that kind of vibrant community of people wanting to explore creative expression and to take classes and to be together and creatively problem solve how to express emotion or translate idea into image. So as a young artist, it was wonderful for me to be around and to have it not be about product. It was really about process, and that was really central, I think, to Deb's mission and vision for the Art Center. And being so excited for the current, manifestation of the Art Center, I was so excited for this building because it's an old building, it's right downtown, it's gorgeous, amazing facilities, and naturally you have this amazing gallery space down here with the classroom spaces upstairs. And really wanting to make sure that there were opportunities for people street side and walking by to look in the windows and see active art making, because it used to always kind of be mixed. Mm-hmm. And wanting to make sure that the educational programming as well as the exhibition programming spoke to each other and fed back and forth and learned from each other. And so that initial proposal, it was a few ideas that I wanted to throw out and see what you guys thought. And I think, it's bold to do something that's unconventional, and it's a risk to be like, oh yeah, are you going to show up every day? And that's a hard balance. And I know because it is this place and because I believe in it so much, I was in. You guys said come, and I was like, of course.
And you helped us to craft this idea and figure out hours and how we were going to introduce this to Basalt and to the whole Roaring Fork Valley. And it's been an amazing process. I hope that some of you have sort of watched. I know hopefully many of you have participated as well, because what Reina decided to do is make it participatory. And I think that was something I mean, I think you knew that this was going to be a challenge and it was going to be a collaboration, but I don't think any of us really understood how much effort it would be for you and how much interaction you'd have with people and how much that would influence what you did here.
Yeah, I think we can have a plan and have an idea of what we think is going to happen. And if anything, I've loved learning that plans rarely go to plan. And actually just showing up and letting go of that script of like, oh, it's going to look like this, and then we're going to do that, and then we'll do this, and someone will help me paint this. And really just letting go of that and showing up was the biggest lesson for me. It's an interesting balance of it takes a lot of effort to do that, but it's also less effort. It's less, I don't know, there's no rub. All I have to do is show up.
There's fewer expectations for an end result.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really where the pressure was to show up and to be present and not have anything else to do, but let someone walk in the door and engage in true conversation with them. And then to really look at what is true conversation, right? I don't have an answer for your question. I'm not thinking of the answer while you're talking. And there's a piece there where it takes more time, I think, to actually sit with someone and engage with them. You can't do it in 2 minutes. So it's not like you can come in and we're like, hey, we've just met, let's make an art piece. I feel like you kind of need to sit down with someone and say, hey, what interests you? What are you curious about? I just saw this thing that I think is so curious. And actually have a conversation around something that then you can move towards together.
And Reina turned into a huge part of our educational programming, which was ultimately so exciting on every realm. So we had, I don't know, you probably hosted over 100 kids down here. I mean, maybe, dramatically more than that. She was actually like a teacher, whether she realized it or not. And it was so fun to see her interacting with all these kids and having this open to them and having that freedom. Was that unexpected for you? Were you expecting that? Like, where were you on that?
I mean, we had talked about it early on that might be a possibility that kids that were going upstairs would come in and say hi. I think the fact that it, thankfully the teacher, the wonderful new teacher at the Basalt Middle School was like, I'm game, I'll bring them over. And I was like, you'll bring them over, then I'm gonna be here. And so it was long days, and it was more than 200 kids in 2 days.
Yeah.
But so incredible. I mean, and it wasn't so much that I was teaching them anything. And I think what I loved about it was, I could welcome them into this space, and they felt like I was seeing them as people, not as students, and not as kids. And so I was like, well, what do you see, right? Or what are you curious about? Or what technique, are you guys working on? And so they would look at the mural, they'd all walk in, and they wouldn't see it. And then we'd chat, and I'd say hi, and then they'd turn around. And it was so cool, because it was like they could just sit with it, and it wasn't about me. It was really about the work and the conversations and what topics were being explored in such a large piece. And having them feel free to shout out what they saw or what they think should be next, and then self-reflect on their own process with art making and printmaking. I mean, I could talk about it for days. It was so cool.
And let's talk about the mural. I'm going to put you guys on the spot over here. Hi, Richard. Hi, Sarah. We're going to walk over here without killing ourselves. But so this has been the very tangible thing that has evolved in the last 3 weeks. And please just talk to everyone about this process for you and how this evolved.
Again, there was no plan, and there's freedom in that, and there's also risk, but I loved being able to talk to people and really figure out how do we drive home that we're all connected. And obviously it's topical because of COVID, but it really wasn't about COVID. It was about that my wellness is tied to your wellness, and we all breathe the same air, and this interconnectivity of everyone, no matter what, or where you come from, how much money you make. Like, I really strongly believe in that. And so how would I want to see that on a wall, right? And so naturally lungs kind of came from that, and that was really fun because it's a web, right? And it's not anatomically correct at all, but people still read lungs, people read tree roots, people read, all different things that I think are really informative to that discussion.
And this was a collaboration as well, right? You had many people helping you with this.
Yes. Yeah, I was talking with someone earlier today, and it just kind of dawned on me because I keep saying we, and they're like, "Who are you talking about?" and it does feel collective. I mean, even if like one section of it I only worked on, I'm informed by every conversation that I had, and I'm informed by the news, and I'm informed by the beautiful artwork that's in here, and the artists that came in and talked to me or gave their own art talks. That all informs our work, I believe, and so I don't feel possessive over it at all. And yeah, we had other artists coming in and helping me that are, fellow artists trying to figure out how to make it work in this valley. And, luckily having the founder, Deb Jones, come in, again, my mother, and work on it as well, like beautiful full circle and such richness of how interwoven. I mean, it's a tapestry, right? Like there's all these webs and connections between everyone in this room and the people up there and out there, and who's going to see it in a month, and who's going to get the poster in 3 months, and what kid's going to remember it in 10 years. Maybe it influences something beautiful for them.
Yeah. I think just when I was here and seeing people experience it, some people had never seen art being actually made in process, and I think that is something that we who live within the art world sort of take for granted. But for someone who's potentially walking off the street who's never experienced this, like watching an artist actually work is a really amazing process to be able to be allowed to see. So this is all coming down tomorrow.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I mean, we are going to miss you so much. You've been our representation. We had no idea also in starting this process that you were going to be such a frontline person and representing who we are as an organization as well. So we know we're going to miss you desperately. But, I know you're going to sleep a little bit because I know this has been exhausting.
Well, it's exciting. I mean, I hope I represented you guys well. This place is so dear to my heart that it didn't matter who walked through the door or what I wanted to do. That was really important. And speaking to the piece of process and art, like the willingness to fail or try something, I feel safe doing that, and I want others to as well, because look how many prints are on the walls.
Yeah.
And luckily, it's like, oh, you get to one and you're like, that speaks to me, or that's worth pulling on. And it's not going to happen in the first 10 or 20 or 50. Mm-hmm. And the willingness to just be like, yeah, it takes work. So I don't feel like this is over, right? Like, I've been informed by a lot of things, so many conversations that I can't wait to return to. I'm sure I'm going to remember half of them in my dreams because a lot happened. But, I'll continue working on this at the shop in Carbondale and, hopefully be done this week, and then see what happens and keep doing the work.
And
right?
we are going to be, there is a poster that's going to be produced from this.
Yeah, so once this is done, we'll do a nice reproduction, a print, and keep it really affordable so anyone can get one.
And we have a sign-up sheet. I've already signed up, no pressure to get one. But that they will be probably in the next few months we'll be able to, and we will contact anyone who's interested. So unless you have anything else to say, I want to open up questions. I mean, there's so much more to say.
Yeah, the questions are great.
But I'd love if anyone has any questions about this really unique, about this whole idea, or for Reina or anything, please let me know. And I'll repeat the question. No?
Michael has one.
Hi, Michael.
Tell us about the Carbondale studio.
Tell us about the Carbondale studio is the question.
The studio, yeah. So the project shop has been in the Saw building on Buggy Circle for 6, maybe 7 years coming up. And it's a print shop and a creative space, and mostly just my artist studio. But the idea really was to have the facilities and the equipment to facilitate creative expression for anyone who had a project in mind. And so that's been really a wonderful process for me of engaging with the public, not just on a classroom basis, but have it be really project-based and have it move really towards just service learning. So community service projects where someone can come and say, hey, I want to learn screen printing, but I don't want to take a class for a half hour that I forget everything or I don't have the equipment. Because I do believe printmaking is great. You have to do 100 of them before you get to where you want to get. So repetition helps in achieving technique, but also spreading the word wider. You know, making one piece of art is amazing, but if you can replicate that so it touches more souls, then maybe your message is more impactful.
Say again where it is?
In Carbondale on Buggy Circle, in the southwest corner of SAW, which is Studio for Arts and Works. So there's a lot of artists in that building, and that energy is wonderful to be around as well.
So you can always visit Reina there as well and see what she's doing next. But I think, unless anyone else has a question, oh yeah, go ahead.
This is a quick one. I'm looking at this T-shirt. Is your T-shirt program alive and well? I'm going to keep going.
It is, definitely. I'm a little behind because
She's been a little bit busy.
I was busy this
Okay,
month.
I like the ones I have.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, no, that piece is, again, engaging with an artist that is curious or unfamiliar with the printmaking process and has the freedom to creatively express with the subscribers already on board. And so they don't have to worry about selling it. That next one is by Takeo Hiromitsu, who's a wonderful artist. And I'm excited to produce it. We're going to work on it this week.
So thank you so much, Reina. I can't tell you on behalf of the entire Art Base staff how grateful we are for this collaboration. It would never have happened, I can say that, without you and without this vision. And you truly embody so many of the values of this organization. And like I've said, you represent us so well. And I'm excited to see what comes next with you here, with this same sort of phenomenon happening. And thank you for having the courage to bring it up to us. And we're just so grateful.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Enjoy.